Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to NMH at 1 as we review the daily newspapers. Making headlines today has been the resignation of the Minister of Defense, Vilho, while we also bring you up to date on all the highlights in the Namibian news cycle currently. I am your host, Fishcor, and welcome to NMH at 1. Firstly, on Sundays, our COVID-19 monitor in NMH at 1 focuses on frontline workers in the healthcare sector. New cases amongst health workers seem to be on a downward trend, but the decreased number of tests over the Easter weekend may not tell the true story. New infections due to the holiday break will take 7 to 14 days to show in reported data. To date, 1,972 health workers have contracted the virus. Only 6 deaths were reported in this group, and the recovery rate stands at 98%, slightly better than the overall national rate of 95%. Over the 7-day cycle up to Monday, at least another 19 healthcare workers tested positive for COVID-19, compared to 39 in the period before that. This is a decrease of 50%. The highest number of new cases were reported in the Irongo region with 7, followed by Khomas with 6. Do join us tomorrow for a look at quarantine numbers for each region in Namibia, also showing a decrease, and remember to keep safe. And now we delve into our video news segment for today. In our first story, Oshodonjupa Governor James Urikua expressed his disappointment over the admission of guilt fines that can be paid by individuals who potentially commit serious offenses who could then walk away unpunished. He made these remarks at a recent engagement with regional councillors in Otjwarongo. Esther Kamati was there.
Let us join hands. If the institution of themselves are reluctant for whatever reason, let us also form a rank and make sure that as leadership, we provide that necessary leadership. We provide guidance and support where the system, in a way, is being let down by individuals. How do you admit guilt of shooting somebody with a rubber bullet? And how many other people are being shot? You know, a rubber bullet can be fatal. Even if you shoot it on the head of a person, it's a fatal thing. Does it mean that there are cases where a person gets murdered and admit guilt over the counter, and then that's it? So let us not go there, let us not go so far, but let us stand up and fight against this thing. We need to be responsive. The government have prepared a strong foundation that those who are responsible for implementing need to wake up and make sure that these things are implemented unhindered and without further delay. Thank you.
Namibian singer Rose Black joined Nigerian Afro-pop singer Yemi Alade while shooting a music video in Sossusvlei. This was part of a tour with a group of more than 25 Nigerians that included celebrities from the West African country visiting Namibia to promote tourism to the land of the brave. Elani Spit spoke to her.
Good evening, Namibia. My name is Rose Black, and I am currently in Sossusvlei, Namibia. We are here on this journey to shoot a music video for a Nigerian artist called Mrs. Yemi Alade. And in this initiative is to bring back tourism to our country. And the project is based on Destination Namibia. We are so thrilled to be here. It is a beautiful, beautiful place, as you can see. And I would just like to give a shout out to NBC and to everybody in the teams that have brought this together for us this evening. So basically our filming already started on Sunday, where Yemi had to be on a boat in Fish Bay, and then we moved to Desert Explorers on Monday morning, and today we're in Sossusvlei. So we're basically taking all of the places that can bring out our country and just show all the beauty that we have. Well, our Namibian government wanted our Namibian artists to be a part of this video shoot, since they've brought in Yemi to help bring back tourism. They wanted Namibian artists to also show off that this is Namibia.
And finally, in sporting news, the Ironga Women Regional Soccer Cup was launched in Swakopmund by the coordinator of women's football in the region, Ryan Matsi. At the same gathering, he explained the tournament rules. Adolf Kaure of our Ironga office was there.
Introduce myself, my name is Ryan Matsi, the coordinator of Ironga Region Women Football in large. We are here to call a meeting of Women Regional Cup for the first time in our region, and we will table the budget of the tournament, and we also forward you the rules of the tournament. The tournament will start on the 10th of April 2021 until the 17th of April 2021. There is 3 towns that are chosen to play the tournament. One group will be in Caribbean, one group will be in Israel, and the semi-final will be handled in Swakop on the 17th weekend. So it's the way forward. We are here to share our ideas, where we will go together and make the cup successfully. Thank you for making your time to be here, as well as the teams. All the teams are welcome. My apology for the 3 teams who are not here. Actually, the Caribbean FC, Caribbean Beauties, Super Ladies, and Caribbean FC from Arandes. They did not make it.
And now we move on to the front pages of our Namibian dailies. Namibian Sun reports that the 2 trial-awaiting former cabinet ministers linked to the fish rod corruption and fraud scandal will likely be removed from their positions in SWAPO's Central Committee and Politburo. The ruling party's top leadership is expected to make a public announcement soon regarding Saki Shanghala and Bernard Esau's status in SWAPO's top leadership. Republican reveals that the Namibian Fishing Corporation, Fishcor, has sent one of its interim board members, Ms. Ruth Herunga, to Lüderitz in a temporary caretaker position over the company. This follows the resignation yesterday of Fishcor's chief financial officer, Paulus Ngalangi, who had been the last remaining member of the company's top management. Allgemeine Zeitung's lead story revolves around scientific studies in the USA, indicating that oil production through the fracking process has already led to earthquakes. In the light of last weekend's magnitude 5.6 earthquake north of Gorigas, there is also cause for concern that the Okavango Delta and the Kalahari Basin had recorded an increased incidence of seismic events ahead of the Canadian exploration company Recon Africa's planned activities in the region. The Namibian examines the announcement of Defense Minister Peter Vilho's resignation late yesterday under a cloud of controversy over potential irregularities involving his undeclared bank accounts in Hong Kong. The report looks into the Defense Ministry's troubled history of secrecy and dirty deals over the last decades, as well as Vilho's history of several public spats. New Era leads with developments in the Tsumeb compound of Ndombo, where the owner is calling for the eviction of tenants due to non-payment of rental fees. The owner, Christo Groenewald, says he has suffered great financial losses while tenants have been struggling to pay rent in the last 3 years or have refused payment, claiming he is not the legitimate property owner. This is despite a High Court ruling in Groenewald's favor. And now we move on to the inside pages of the country's dailies. The lead story on Market Watch states that the long-awaited Namibia Revenue Authority is finally operational, with its launch set to take place today, officiated by President Hage Geingob. More than 1,200 staff members of the Ministry of Finance are expected to be transferred to the Revenue Authority. According to the Namibian, the Minister of Agriculture, Water and Land Reform, Carl Schletwein, is expected to explain how his ministry approved a deal to buy 2 farms in the Oshadunjupa region from a company owned by Prime Minister Sarah Kukongelo Amadila and her husband last year. The selling price of more than 14 million Namibian dollars is alleged to have been excessively inflated, according to documents seen by the newspaper. New Era follows the story of northern businessman Sindano Hango, who has filed an appeal for his conviction on a charge of raping his cousin in 2014. Hango, who is out on bail of 10,000 Namibian dollars, was on the court roll yesterday for sentencing, but the matter had to be postponed to the end of this month, pending the appeal. Republican pays tribute to the late Paul Kiddo, a well-known Namibian artist who died following a heart attack over the weekend at the age of 72. As the eldest of 6 children born in the southern town of Bethany, the talented and award-winning artist had been a stalwart in his family. The Allgemeine Zeitung reports on a painting by legendary Spanish artist Pablo Picasso, which was offered on an online auction in Namibia over the last few days. The reserve price was set at a record of 418 million Namibian dollars, and although auctioneers had received inquiries regarding the painting, no bid was offered. Namibian Sun reports on the High Court trial of murder-accused Ernest Lichtenstrasse. The defense pointed out that several inaccuracies occurred on the form that had to be completed while taking the DNA sample of the man accused of fatally shooting 2 colleagues in Arandis 2 years ago. And that is it for today, ladies and gentlemen. I've been your host, Priska Anyolo, live for NMH at 1. Thank you so much for joining us, and do stay tuned for the weather as well.